Welcome back to Road 2000. We are currently 1828, just past 1800 in our last couple of games. You can see our winning streak here. I'm on a 6 game winning streak. And today we're going to look at a game that I played a month ago, which is the next game here against Topin, who was rated 1775. And we're going to take a look if I win or lose and see what we can learn from this one. Let's jump in. I start off with King's Pawn as usual. Opponent replies with e5, Knight f3, Knight c6, Bishop c4. Usually I play Roy Lopez, but today the day I played this game, I decided to mix it up. Opponent goes Bishop c5, Castle, d6. Here I went h6. Often I find that this pin is super annoying if your bishop is outside our pawn chain here. So I often play h3, but I know that at a certain level, this is often incorrect in many situations. And apparently the computer agrees here. If you guys know of any good YouTube series on either the Roy Lopez, the Italian game, which is this opening, or things like that, where there's some clear indications of why this is or isn't, or when it is or isn't a mistake, comment down below, send me a YouTube link or whatever. I'm trying to learn. Okay, opponent replies h6. Here I go c3, which is a very common idea in the Italian opening. Beginners will usually just play like knight out, pawn up, and then something like this. But often in these positions, you are supposed to go like c3 to challenge the center. Opponent goes g5, which is very aggressive. Although this is like one of the ways to punish this early move after I've castled early as well. So yeah, computer doesn't like it, but it is in line with some things I've seen of how to punish this. Here we go d4, striking in the center. Opponent goes bishop b6. I go bishop e3, just continuing to develop here. The computer wanted a4, which I kind of looked at with the engine, and I'm not exactly sure I understand the logic of it. I think the idea of a4 might be that so they have to like kind of waste a move. Well, actually, I don't even know if they really need it. We can't really push this pawn. They have too much control. But I think it's creating an evacuation square for the bishop on a2. So if black ever goes knight a5, that we can stay on this diagonal. That's my best guess of why that's the best move. But after bishop e3, the computer wanted knight f6 here. But again, I don't see why this is so bad. I mean, they're attacking this pawn, but we can just go knight b d2 and defend, and it seems fine to me. So some mysteries here. So yeah, we go bishop e3, developing. Opponent goes queen e7. And we go knight b d2. Opponent goes g5. Okay, I capture. They capture with the bishop on g5. G4, excuse me. And here I went b4. Now, this game was a month ago. I don't remember all of my thoughts, but I think I was planning to then go like a4 and a5 with some threats over here, as well as just kind of gaining space. Opponent takes my pawn. And you have a few different ways to capture this pawn. Which way do you guys want to capture? So you can't really capture with this knight because of the pin. So you could capture bishop or pawn. I decided to take with the pawn. That way I have two central pawns and more central control. Opponent recaptures. Also, if I capture with the bishop, then they can trade knight for bishop, which I wanted to avoid, since bishops are usually slightly better. Yeah, they went here, bishop takes d4, and I recaptured. Knight recaptures. And, I mean, it looks maybe like you have a problem because of this pin. So, yeah, it is a little tricky. You kind of want to untangle here somehow. We can't kick the bishop away. So what move would you guys play here? Give it 5 to 10 seconds. So the move I found in the game was queen to a4 check. If they block with the queen, we can trade, and they have to kind of well, like actually they can't do that because eventually this knight might be hanging. They might throw in like an in-between move or something, but eventually we're able to basically just untangle. They played bishop d7, which does seem like the best move because it's coming here with a tempo while their knight is hanging. So we can't recapture yet because our queen is under attack. So now what do you guys want to play? I'll give you 5 to 10 seconds. So you can't go bishop b5 because they can just take. They have too much pressure. So I went pawn to b5, just intercepting this. And now if they take, it's fine. We just recapture. Everything is cool. And that is what they did. So knight takes f3, knight takes f3. Opponent goes pawn h5. Now what do you guys want to play here? I think this was the critical moment in this game. This was the critical move that gave me the edge. So go ahead and pause if you want. I'll give you guys 5 to 10 seconds. So in this position, I noticed that the king and the queen are still in the center, and I'd like to bust open the center as a result of that, and they're on the same file. So, you know, if I could open up this file, I can get a rook here. This could be really strong. So with that in mind, I decided to play e5. And I calculated some things about this that they can't really take, or I mean, they can, but we can just recapture. And they can't recapture with the queen because we're going to pin it and win it. So, yeah, this push is pretty strong. They also can't push here because we can just take with the bishop. So they're kind of paralyzed. And if they take and we recapture and they don't capture this way, yeah, computer says bishop can come here and they can kind of try to hold cover for a second and castle maybe, but maybe we don't let them castle. Like maybe rook 81 here, or yeah, rook e1. I would probably go here. Oh, this knight is, well, no, they still can't take the knight though because of this rook. So yeah, it's pretty dicey here, and you see now the problem with not being castled and with having your queen and king in the center of the board. So all of this came as a result of this e5 move though, because like without this, I mean, black's just going to castle pretty soon. And like, yeah, I have like some pieces nearby, but I don't think I'm ready to like make any breaks or anything anytime soon. Like I have to move the queen. I have to do this. I have to do this. I'm many moves away. So yeah, this was to me the critical move of this game, e5. Opponent goes h4. And now what do you guys want to play? I played rook e1. You could also take immediately, which the computer says was a little bit more accurate. If you take immediately and they recapture, you get a lot of initiative, and I think you're able to prevent black from castling. The way I played it, after rook e1, I think black could maybe castle here. Oh, maybe not. Queen takes. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little dicey either way. So yeah, rook e1, I think both are good. Here my opponent went king d8, which I'm guessing was like a mouse slip. I think they meant to castle, and this ends up being pretty catastrophic for them throughout the game. I mean, maybe it wasn't intentional because, yeah, if they castle, we can take this pawn. So maybe it was intentional, and they were just trying to get out of this like skewer here, this pin. But we'll see how this becomes a pretty big issue for them. So now what do you guys want to play as white? I'll give you 5 to 10 seconds. Now I think it's time to capture and try to rip things open. So pawn takes d6. Opponent plays queen takes d6 to get out of the fire of our rook. And now what do you guys want to play? So intuitively, you might feel like you want to go rook ad1, which I also think is a good move. Getting the last piece of the attack, getting it on an open file with the queen and king on the same file. It's pretty juicy. But there is a free pawn at the moment. So I actually snagged this pawn on c7 or f7. And it just didn't seem like black had anything going for them. They aren't about to like consolidate in any meaningful way. Their king is stuck in the middle forever. This rook is stuck out of the game for quite a while. So yeah, I felt like I could snag this pawn, and that it might be crucial because it just gives black a lot less shelter, and this pawn was actually maybe pretty important holding the square. So now there's really like just full openings to the king, and we might be able to like get our queen, somewhere more involved on the side of the board soon. Opponent goes h3. Creating some threats now. I mean, it's looking a little dicey here. They got the rook pointed at us. They got the queen pointed at us. They got the pawn here. What do you guys want to play now as white? Give it 5 to 10 seconds. You can pause if you want. Here, I decided to ignore. Rook ad1, and the computer agrees this is the best move. So we're trying to take advantage of all this pressure. The queen actually can't stay on this diagonal because we control each of these squares. My queen controls this one, controlled by the pawn. Can't go here because of the king. So they have to do something. They go queen h6. It's interesting that the computer says to take, because I guess, like, this is pretty crazy. This is insane. I mean, black's like losing here. I don't know why, but okay. Now I want you guys to find my next move, which is probably the coolest move of this game. I think the pawn to e5 move is kind of what got me the initial initiative, and this move is how to finish it out. So white to play here. Pause the video if you want. 5 to 10 seconds. Think about it. Okay, your hint, if you need one, is we have a lot of pressure here. We have a lot of pressure here. Looks pretty juicy. What do you play in this position? I played rook to e8, which looks insane, but is actually a checkmate because this bishop is pinned. This bishop helps support. And so even though we had a queen on the board, we didn't need it. And we did it with these two rooks alone. So that game brought us up to 1847. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next episode, I play a game live with you guys together. So it's not a recap, it's played live. And if you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you there. Thanks a lot.